What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the show. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about Harold Perkins, right? And more specifically, Harold Perkins' maturity. So today, when I got off work, I hopped in the car, the truck, I mean, and the first thing I do is while I'm waiting for my vehicle to, cool off, running the AC before I pull out of the parking lot, I hop on YouTube and I just kind of look around and see what's going on YouTube. And I came across a Harold Perkins interview at you know SEC Media Day in Dallas, and I was kind of shocked because I thought that LSU was going to be speaking on the 17th of July, but apparently LSU was the first ones at the podium. Brian Kelly was the first SEC coach at the podium. So, anyways, I clicked on the Harold Perkins interview. It was about 13 minutes long, and I will leave the link in the description below to that interview so you guys can watch it and gather your own opinions. And so I watched it. Now, one of the things I noticed right away was the reporters was asking Harold Perkins just, to me, stupid questions. Right? It was asking him about why didn't he commit to Texas A&M, about his official visit to Texas. All of this stuff is irrelevant. Harold Perkins is going to year three, and they're asking him questions like he's a freshman. So I just thought it was stupid. They wasn't asking him any pertinent questions. It was just most of them was just asking him stupid stuff like, was he going to play NCAA 2025? Some people asked him really good questions, but a lot of the people was just like you can tell they didn't know what the hell they was doing. But that's besides the fact, right? I just wanted to. It was just kind of aggravating. But anyways, I want y'all to think about the level of maturity that you had at a as a high schooler, right? So 17, 18, 19 years old. Think about the level of maturity you had. Think about your decision making, your actions, right? And then think about your maturity level now as an adult. Think about your decision making and your actions, right? And so the level of maturity that I'm certainly that you have now, if you are a little bit older like yourself, like myself, I'm 38 years old. And I'm not saying if you're a younger person that you're not mature. I'm just saying, um, as an adult, maturity or someone who is, let's say, as someone who is very mature. Maturely, being very mature keeps us grounded. We respond to situations with, the appropriate behavior and actions. Right? We make well considerate decisions. And a person who's very mature experience a high level of growth and progress in life, whether it's their personal career, their families, their friends, their social circle, right? If you're mature, you're going to see progress and you're going to see growth. And what I took away from the Harold Perkins interview is Harold Perkins has matured in front of our eyes. Harold Perkins is 19 years old. And if you go and look and listen to his interview, he talked like I thought he was older. He said how old he was, but I thought he was like 21, 22 years old. That's how mature this young man has grown in his 3 years at LSU. And the way that some of the things that told me that he was mature was one, he talked about his freshman year, how he didn't watch a lot of film. He wasn't eating the right way. He was just going out there and he was just using his athletic ability to make plays, right? He talked about now how he watches a lot of film, how he motivates the guys, how he's eating correctly, right? How he's drinking more water, he's hydrating, right? He's put on more weight. He's watching a lot of film. Um, Not only is he watching film from his play last year, but he's not only is he self scouting, but he's also looking ahead at other teams that they got to play, right? More first of all, looking at USC, and he also talked about his decision making, right? Not guessing, um, you know, being patient and letting the plays develop, and more importantly, trusting himself and trusting his teammates. And all of that is a sign of maturity, right? A person that wasn't so mature probably would be quick to throw their teammates under the bus, probably would make a very bad decision in terms of letting the play develop. Maybe, you know, having the coaches put you in position, but still making a boneheaded decision and, jumping a route, or, it's a pass, but you still play the run, something like that, right? And I'm not saying that Harold Perkins has done that. I'm just saying that's when you see someone who's constantly making bad decisions or bad mistakes or making big, giving up big plays on the football field, you have to think that's why they say, oh, he's just a true freshman. He's just a freshman. Or he's an underclass. He needs more experience. There's also, with experience comes maturity. And so if you just can go and watch that interview and see just how um, level-headed Harold Perkins seems, how, excited and confident he is for the season to start, you can tell that Harold Perkins has matured and he's ready to, um, you know, lead this LSU defense to greatness. Some other things that I heard him say was how the reporters also was asking him, you know, how are you guys gonna recoup from last season, right? And Harold Perkins was like, they're not putting much pressure on themselves. They know how well and how bad they played last year as a defense, and they'll put that in the past. The only thing that they can do is move forward. And he said there's no defense, there's no pressure on them because they're holding each other accountable. They know what they need to do. They feel like it's a win now scenario. And so I thought that was very I thought that was very well spoken because yeah, you want to have sharp memory when you play football, right? You hear it all the time a lot for the quarterback position. They say, oh, you threw a turnover, you threw an interception. You want to have sharp memory. Well, the season ended months ago, right? And so I'm pretty sure watching film from last year, they see the mistakes that they made on defense, and but it's a whole new season, right? Right? Everyone's coming into this season 0-0. No one has any wins, no one has any losses. Everyone's going to start the season, undefeated. But after that first week 1 game versus USC, someone's going to be uh, undefeated, and someone's going to have an L, by their record. But I think that's just maturity, right? He's not reflecting on what could have been last year. He's just reflecting on moving forward, putting last year behind him, and figuring out a way how to get better as a leader of the defense, and also how to, you know, be a good leader and teammate for uh, the younger players on that defense and just the players on that defense all together, right? And so I thought that was pretty cool. And so you definitely have to. I will let you go and watch. Like I said, I will leave the interview down in the comments, and you can go watch the interview yourself, and you can let me know in the comment section what you thought, right? But I thought that you know Harold Perkins he's pretty mature. He's 19 years old. I was not as mature as Harold Perkins as a 19-year-old. I already know that I was not, and so I think it's a very very good sign to see how mature he is. I mean, look at Georgia, right? Georgia has had over 20 arrests in that program involving vehicles and speeding and alcohol, right? Harold Perkins is probably one of the biggest superstars in college football and definitely on defense. And I'm pretty sure he has a couple of, you know, $1,000 saved up, right? He could have fast cars and all that stuff. And I don't know if he has a fast car or not, but he could be driving fast. He can be drinking. He can be getting arrested because of the fame and the pressure and the NIL money. And he's not doing any of that. He's staying grounded. He's being a leader. He's watching film. He's making his guys around him on the defense and on the offensive side of the ball better. And, you know, you can't ask for a better leader than that on defense, on your team, and on LSU. All right. So some of the other things I took away from the media day is after I watched the Harold Perkins interview, I watched the Brian Kelly interview, and Brian Kelly immediately talked about, Harold Perkins' maturity. He talked about Gus Nussmeier's leadership, and he talked about Mason Smith's leadership and maturity. And that's the three players that they brought down to Dallas. They brought up to Dallas was Harold Perkins, Gary Nussmeier, and Mason Taylor. But more so, Brian Kelly talked about, you know, them having a burning desire and them needing to make the playoffs in year 3. And that's what he talked about. He talked about making the playoffs a lot. And so you can see and you can tell that winning 10 games this year is not gonna cut it, right? Brian Kelly is taking playoff spot, deep playoff run, possibly playing for a national championship. And so when I heard that, that got me pumped because I'm like, yeah, no one's the bar is set very high at LSU, right? It's year 3, right? Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier stepping in as a full-time starter, but Garrett Nussmeier is no slouch, man. LSU got weapons on the offensive side of the ball, at running back, at tight end, at wide receiver. Harold Perkins spoke highly, very highly of the defensive line. He said Bo Davis has everybody locked in. Bo Davis is one of the best coaches in college football. Harold Perkins spoke highly of um, Baker, right? Blake Baker, right? Spoke very highly of him, right? And so it seems like, the defense is locked in. It seems like Bo Davis is getting the defensive line locked in. And it seems like Brian Kelly is fully expecting this LSU team, to make a deep run into the playoffs and possibly compete for a national championship. And that's the same thing I said too. You know, sure, Brian Kelly won 10 games his first 2 seasons, but um, you know, 10 games is no longer going to cut it. We need 10 plus games. We need a playoff spot, right? And we need opportunity to play for a national championship, right? Cool. First season, you won the SEC, you went against Georgia, got beat pretty good, won your bowl game. Second season, right, was in good position, you know, didn't didn't clinch the playoffs, didn't win the SEC, but you got 10 games, right? Got 2 guys, well, 3 guys three guys in the first round, right? So Jaden Daniels, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, right? Won your bowl game, right? That's cool. But year 3, we want to see, obviously, more guys go to the pros, right? Always love to see guys get an opportunity to play for the pros, but you also want to see that deep playoff run um, out of this LSU team. And it's not going to be easy because, like I said, you got Oklahoma, Texas has showed up to the SEC. It's not going to be easy. The SEC has probably gotten as harder, or hard as it ever was, or at the moment, right? With these 2 teams, because Texas and Oklahoma are not pushovers. But I believe in Brian Kelly, and I believe in the players that we have on this team. And I like to say, why not us? Why, you know, why aren't we the ones to, get a playoff spot, right? If you look at a lot of the polls, right, which I try not to look at those polls, but sometimes I look at them for motivation. Um, they have the playoff teams being Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Alabama, right? There's no talks of LSU, right? So that's good. I like where LSU is at, right? I like that no one's expecting us to do anything. So when we sneak up on people and we punch them in the mouth, they're gonna know about us, right? They're gonna know about us. So yeah, so gonna leave the link in the comment section below. You can go watch the video of of Harold Perkins' interview. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And hey, as always, thank you to everyone who supported the channel. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. And if there's anything you want to talk about in the comment section below, LSU, your favorite team, doesn't have to be an SEC team, can be a Big Ten team, can be, it can be BYU, it can be whoever. Just, drop a comment down in the comment section below. I love interacting with y'all in the comment section. And until next time, I'm out.